Hello, world. Oh, we've lost Georgia. We've got Georgia. We found Georgia.
What? Hello.
Hello. Hello, world. Hi, my name is DM Dan. We are the Explorers of Elsewhere, and we are arriving precisely when we mean to. A streamer is never late. Hi, welcome. Hello and welcome also to Nate.
Hello.
Hello to Georgia.
Hello.
Hello to Livy.
Hello.
Hello to Theo.
Hello.
Hello to Tim.
Hello.
Hello. How are we all doing? Oh, this is shoddy work. Our names are on the wrong sides. It's almost like the campaign's dead to me now.
Done with that.
Just gonna move that there. There we go. Balance. Oh wait, no, Theo's not in the right place. Oh, there we go.
He had to read off all of our names or he wouldn't have remembered.
Professionalship. Professionalness. Right there. Professionalismness. Right there. Hi. How are you all doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Good. I ain't seen you lot in ages.
I know. We've just hidden away in our houses for the past 2 weeks. We've got nothing else to live for.
Nothing else
since we
to
finished
do.
the campaign.
I just climb into a bin and live in there until Dan summons me forth once again.
I mean, that's sounds good. Sounds about right. Yeah, I mean, after the final finale watch party, I just kind of sat motionless.
You disintegrated, didn't
Yeah,
you?
just dust. Yes. Hello. We collectively played some Daggerheart, or so the legends say. And we thought that we should all get together and have a little kind of a debrief, a little rundown, talk about our experiences of the finale, because we haven't really kind of gotten together and spoken publicly about that since we rocked into the amazing Pickaxe Studios, home of Yogscast and Games Night. So yeah, we have lots of thoughts, we have stories. I'm sure in regards to the campaign, we probably have some questions and thoughts and stories. So yeah, let's just get it all out in the open, so I know who to bring back the campaign for.
Air your grievances now.
Yeah.
But yes, so Nate, as head
Hello.
minion, where do we start?
Why am I head minion?
Because you put up with Dan longer than the rest of us.
That's true.
It's true, yeah.
Let's start off then, because when was the last time we had a Titan talk? It was probably after episode 18.
Yeah, it was a
Just
while ago.
before
Yeah.
20.
Because George and I missed the last one,
We did.
if I remember rightly. So
Yeah, it was just before episode 20, just before the Gilded Pyre airship assault.
So we just found out that we were going to be our previous.
Yeah.
Yes.
That might be a good thing to start, like how, because obviously when especially sort of myself, Livy, Theo and Georgia, when we made our Tales characters, we originally made it in the beta test version,
yeah,
where we then had to completely recreate them to set with the formal release, and also Tim had to
Start from scratch.
start from scratch. Obviously, having Galena having sort of D&D 5e sort of settings, now having to move that over to Daggerheart, which might actually be quite interesting for a lot of people, because I definitely know that one big subject that comes up when talking about Daggerheart is how can I transfer my D&D character into Daggerheart? So that might actually
How
be like a really
similar
good
is
thing to
it
talk
to
about.
D&D?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, yes. Let's talk about all of those things. Well, tell you what. Let's ease everyone in. How when the four of you came to redoing, like updating your tales characters. Like, did you notice anything like notable? Any like any curiosities that kind of jumped out at you, or did sort of like all of the options that you had to, all of the decisions you had to make, did they all just kind of like fall into place?
I think from memory, it's mostly just armor slots are a big change from the original playtest because they changed a lot of that. Yeah, because I think Cal originally had like a hell of a lot more armor slots. I think he had about 11 or something from the original game, which is obviously a hell of a lot of armor slots. But he was a guardian at like the top of his game at that point, so we never did. I think you just got to level 5 with Cal, I think.
Yes,
So,
I think I'm pretty sure Tails
I
was
think that's
3,
where we
4,
got
5.
to with everyone. Yeah, and then
they-
obviously for this we played level 6, didn't we?
And when you would have originally made Cal, you would have had 3 thresholds, and then that went to 2 thresholds, which means that's why the armor slots changed so much.
Yeah. So it did all change around. So yeah, so like looking at my new Cal sheet, you know, he's down to 6 armor slots, which is still really good for Daggerheart. Like, but nothing compared to Aid, obviously. No, but that was, I think that's I think it was 6 armor slots, I think. But yeah, it's crazy how different they look like side by side, the sheets, in that way. But otherwise, it was pretty easy process fixing it. Like Daggerheart, I find is one of the best for character creations in that way. Yeah, I find it quite easy to figure out what I want.
Pretty self-explanatory, and you don't need to know 100 billion different spells and builds, and you know.
Yeah.
The ancestries changed though, or the heritages, because I became fireproof, which was great.
Yes,
very useful.
Couple of our fighting tales.
Yeah, we had the benefit of the new, well, at the time they were sort of like playtest only void classes. Heritages, beg pardon. But yeah, it just now that there is a heritage feature that just you are fireproof, it was just like that is 100% slam dunk for Ravi. She's literally got lava for hair. So yeah, that was
because the one that I took for the elemental side of Ravi when we were making the heritage was that she could like spit fire, which was like
globules of hair.
But yeah, I just ended up skidding it as like globules of hair rather than it actually coming out of her mouth.
How about Azakar? Because it feels like Serif's changed up. Like,
I mean,
did he change up much?
Not a hell of a lot, no. I mean, obviously with going up to level 6, and I think this is something you can take at level 5 now, is the fact that you can up your subclass. So I was able to up him to a devout, which meant I got a reroll on prayer dice, and I also got to do the sparing touch twice, which was good. So that was pretty cool. But besides from that, not a lot changed. I do have a confession though.
Yes.
Oh, classic Nathan.
In Ancestry, one of his original ancestries was the meditation thing. So when I think Gardy had it as well, is you can take an additional, sort of
celestial trance.
But I thought this is one and done. There's no point in having that. So I did. So I did take Nimble instead to give him an extra evasion.
That's cheating.
It's not cheating. We had to make
so naughty. Shan the non-believer. Shan. That's fair. I just feel like Azakar was a lot tankier than he was in Tales.
I feel like that might be because
Nathan died in the first episode. In Tales.
Yeah. I think it was because we were just playing, we knew that we just had the 3 hours and that was it with these characters. So you're more likely to take risks. You're more likely to put all in because you don't I feel like towards the end when we were up against Sorrowend that a lot of us were running on fumes by that time.
I also think you would have gone from playing incredibly squishy to not so squishy.
Oh, I got too excited.
That's going to give you a false sense of confidence.
I got way too excited. Asgard was so stressed all the way through that.
Because you've just got to, whereas I went the other way because I was just so used to aim. As soon as I opened Ray's sheet, I'm just that's all? That's all my armor slots? That's all my health I have?
But I mean, there was a point. Yeah, there was a point where I remember throwing an attack at Ray, and I was like, yeah, that's a 20, yes, I've hit a Ray, and you were like, no.
Yeah.
21 AC, 21 arm.
Evasion was massive because when you have a level 6 companion, if your companion is next to you, it raises your invasion up ridiculous amounts. It's brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely bananas. But yeah, some of you also got some multi-classing in while you had the opportunity. I noticed that Alfric did Alfric seem all the more stabby for his level in warrior?
I feel like I was trying to think of the difference between Bard in playtest and Bard currently, and I feel this could just be me taking a horrendously long time to learn any new TTRPG system. I feel like there wasn't a huge amount of difference, apart from what we've already discussed with armor slots. But in terms of the build of a Bard, I don't know if you found this, Nate, when you were playing Griffin, it didn't feel too different. My beloved spell Levitation was still there.
Yeah.
My inability to cast Fireball was still there.
Yes.
So I feel I did have him stab more people. I think that was just because I was conscious of my inability to cast spells.
When in doubt, stab.
Stab. When in doubt, stab with spear. So I feel like there wasn't a huge change, but it was only a 1 level up.
Yeah.
I feel like multi-class isn't as, I don't know, it feels more intrinsic in D&D, whereas with Daggerheart, it feels like you really have to earn it.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, because you can only do it when you're
you can only take it from level 5, and then you can't immediately step into the multi-classes, top-end abilities. You have to...
You've really got to work up.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you only take one side of it as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
you can only take the one of the 2 aspects.
Yeah.
One of 2 domains. It was interesting to see that, to see those multi-classes roll out. Obviously, Cal picked up Seraph, got some extra prayer dice to throw around. Very happy that between the 2 of you, you rolled a total of about 10 across all of your prayer dice. So I guess slightly different, deeper end of the pool. How did you find bringing not only a D&D character over into Daggerheart, Tim, but an artificer, no less, which has no direct Daggerheart crossover?
Yeah, I mean, I think I possibly briefly covered this in the last time talk, but honestly, fine, really, because I think as long as you go into it with the character in mind rather than the class, it's absolutely fine. I wasn't going into it thinking, how do I make an artificer subclass alchemist in Daggerheart? I was thinking, how do I make a potion specialist in Daggerheart? And that's much easier, really. I just grabbed a little bit of the new witch stuff because it makes your potions a bit better, which is cool. Rest of it is wizard because it gives you lots of different options. And then then you just flavor it from there, and it's easy peasy, really.
I mean, I will admit that, when you started playing Daggerheart version of Galena, it felt like a couple of years ago like we just picked up where we left off. Like it just genuinely felt like Galena. So yeah, I was very, very impressed at how kind of seamless that all felt. And yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Kind of building idea first, well, character idea first, kind of thing. Yeah, that worked absolutely fine.
And I think as well, taking an existing character who hadn't had rules for that sort of stuff and being able to come up with the experiences and be like, okay, well, she's horribly stubborn. Now I can make that into an actual like mechanical benefit. That sort of thing. So, yeah, nice.
So I don't remember us needing to roll it out during that finale episode, but when you all respectively created your demi-plane character sheets, I looked at Tim's, and then I did do a little bit of strong arming, and I just forcibly renamed like Master Potioneer or whatever the experience was to I'm Galena Bloody Orpiment.
It's true. I was desperately looking for a way to use it, Dan.
I feel any situation where you just stamp your foot on the ground and blurt it out. But yeah, it was like, yeah, those experiences. And I think this is one of the biggest successes of Daggerheart, like the experience systems. I mean, who'd have thought that giving someone carte blanche to create like rules for their character would make their character feel more realized? It was, yeah. It was just.
It's funny because I think when we first started playing, I couldn't get my head around the experiences. It felt too freeing. I was like, what do you mean I get a mechanical benefit from making something up?
For being
like it took so long to go, oh, this is how you use it. I think until you start using the experiences when it actually starts feeling real, which is why like it was so much more fun going, because Cal's experiences when I first made them, they were a bit rubbish because I didn't understand them. Yeah. So when I went back in, I slightly tweaked what they were named. They still works the same mechanically, but it was like, oh, so stoic makes more sense than bodyguard, because bodyguard is not what his character is, but he is stoic. So I was able to then just slightly amend the mechanic, and it just meant it made so much more sense. So if anyone is worried about that, just
lean into it.
Let it go, lean into it.
Because I think we've all probably in games like D&D, we've kind of jumped through hoops taking specific things to make our characters good at specific things. But then, you know, if you were playing a Seraph in Daggerheart and simply called one of your experiences Defender of the Weak, like that in itself just encapsulates so much stuff that you might lump into a paladin in D&D, for example.
When you first said that, I thought you meant like he has his like name on the board, like Defender of the Week. I was just like, what?
It's just a portrait.
I mean, to be fair, a paladin would also have that as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Two separate experiences: Defender of the Week and then Defender of the Week.
It's like today, Dan, I'm going to use Defender of the Week, which one? You're going to find out in a moment.
My boss said I did really well.
I think also when I was first going into the experiences, there was a bit of a worry that like, oh, if I make this applicable to too many things, then it'll be really easy for it to be overpowered or whatever. But given that you have to try to spend a hope for it, it's fine. It's like it almost feels more like it's just about. It's a way to like flesh out your character idea. And then sometimes if you need to spend a hope for an extra 2 and you can figure out how to shoehorn something in, you're good to go. So, it doesn't really matter how specific or generalized they are.
And I mean, I genuinely think that a lot of the maths behind Daggerheart probably revolves around the idea that more often than not, you're going to be rolling with an additional +2 or a +3. Because certainly over the space of campaign 3, or sort of whenever we played lower level Daggerheart, you've been able to just kind of like roll through enemies and difficulties relatively easy. But certainly once we got to sort of like level 5 and level 6, the numbers, like the difficulty target numbers, were sort of like high enough that actually you guys were
plus
starting
two
to
makes
miss a fair
massive,
amount.
Yeah, it makes a massive difference when you're.
And then that then snowballs, because if you missed, or now it's the GM's turn, and like stuff will happen. Whereas in earlier levels, I think sometimes we would think, oh, this is a bit of a cakewalk because the GM's not got any fear and can't, like, no one's missing.
Yeah.
And everyone's rolling with hope. But yes. Yeah, very interesting to see those characters. Go on, Fair.
Okay, regarding character sheets, I'm just out of curiosity wanted to ask everyone, did anyone use their unique hope feature that much? Because I think I didn't at all, which is so for example, with Cal, it's free hope to clear 2 armor slots. With Cooper, it's spend free hope to gain +2 bonus to an evasion, which are very good in themselves, but 3 hope is a lot to gamble when those hope can be used on attacks or support others.
I did use... Oh, gone.
That's no, I used mine once with Abe when I'd maxed out my armor slots, and I
used mine once for Cooper as well.
Heavy, but because when you get to like 5 hope, you're like, oh, I better spend it because I might get more in a minute.
Yeah. I think it's nice to just have that big spender just in case you threaten to, like, if you roll hot and then, like, if you roll hot and then you're just sat on 6 hope and you're just like, well, great.
Yeah. Well, you could just give someone a compliment and get 3 hope anyway. You might as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely found. I don't know if it was maybe because of the way I'd built Guardy, but I felt like I was desperate for hope all of the time. Like I think quite a few of his skills, you don't necessarily roll the duality dice, which means that you don't get as many opportunities to gain that hope.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, most of the heals, for example, you just spend whatever and then they gain X hit points. And yeah, it meant it was a huge hope drain. So
I feel like it's almost kind of like the healer archetypes are almost kind of leaning into get a staff that you can attack with at range, and then you do an attack, hope you roll a success with hope, or like hope you roll with hope, whether it's a hit or miss, and then either way sort of like retake the spotlight and then do the heal. Yeah, I think that's a bit of a tagline for Guardy over Campaign 3 in general, right? Like desperate for hope.
Fair, it was pretty thematic.
But yeah, no, it was. I certainly noticed you guys in general were like a lot more hope starved. Well, it felt. It usually felt to me a bit feast or famine. Either you were rolling hot and you all had hope for days, and you were just like blowing through your hope to do all your cool things, or none of you could. None of you could roll high on the hope dice, and then it was just pounding you into the ground.
I remember at the start of the finale.
Yeah,
I think both Liv and I noticed that we both had full hope, so we looked at each other like double tag team.
That's why I just double tag team it. Let's just get this straight off the bat. Bye, Georgia.
So yes, it was very good to see those characters roll back through. Did we? How? Well, is there any other meta stuff we want to talk about first before we dive into the finale, or?
No, I did have a genuine fear for Griffin during that mission. Yeah.
Oh, well, we were just sucking all the life out of you.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be fine. And then if you did die, you could bring Azakar to the final fight, and he's really handy.
No, Cooper would have been so upset. That
Can you imagine? Majority turns up. He's like, "Hello,
hello, your friend died. I'm here to help."
He's got a bad Griffin.
Your friend died. Sorry.
Yes. I thought, because there was a part of me that was like, this is, we're kind of treading into relatively standardized stop the ritual territory. But I was just like, I don't know what the clock should be. And then I just sat there looking at Foundryborn, and I was looking at the Foundryborn clock system, and I had this moment of like, I wonder, can I make a 7-segment clock? Because normally, air quotes, it's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 12. I was like, can I have an odd number of segments? Because if so, that is literally Griffin's HP. And every time I want to tighten the screw, I'll just chip off a pip of his hit points. Yeah, I mean, no, yeah, you genuinely looked a bit worried.
I was worried.
Especially when Sorrowwind turned out to have a secret second phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super Saiyan phase.
He did an Elden Ring Melina. Yes, so thoughts on House Stonethrath? We have a new high house at the very least. Nate has created the second named Asavari High House in Elsewhere lore.
Won't be the last.
It certainly won't be the last. Yeah, how did we find that jolly jaunt?
It's fun. I enjoyed playing Cal again for sure. Like Cooper and Cal are so different in flavor. Cal is in bash bash, very stoic. Yeah, and I love playing Guardian. Like they are a lot of work to get your head around all the different things you have to do. But in just terms of like character, Cal is there to, fuck shit up. That's what he does. So
yeah, just hit hard, take all the damage.
Take all the damage, go. Be a tank, go for it. So yeah, I found it really fun. Was also nervous about what the hell was going to happen to Griffin if the clock went. I was like, for a horrible second, I thought that it'd be permanently removing your HP. So when we get you back, you're like, well, you got 3 HP now.
That was just so
rude.
And I wouldn't have mentioned anything about it until we did the in-person live, and it would have been to look round to you, Nate.
Yeah, I think I managed to not be. I wasn't too worried about Griffin when we were playing, because I was like, I think I just got into the Galena headspace, and I was just like, look, if we can save this elf twink, fine. But we've got cool stuff to reset while we're here.
Yeah. We've got things to do.
Got more important things.
Some of you may die. Yes. So, that was. I enjoyed the ending of that episode. I felt it was suitably dramatic. I was secretly hoping that after Griffin was kind of rescued, that there was a part of me that was like, are you gonna like drive the dagger in and kind of finish off Sorrowwind? And then the tag team between Griffin and between Azakar and Cal, and you got just the right number of segments to take him out, and I was just like, chef's kiss, works out perfectly. I thought that was really enjoyed that. Big costume change for the arena that you were fighting in as well. That seemed to go down well. So yes, that was the first finale part. And then we reconvened a couple of days later, and how did we find... Which question should we ask first? How did we find recording in a big, swanky, world-famous studio?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, just do it every week. It's fun.
Yeah, sorted.
Dan, you're paying for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was really cool. Like I've not done anything like that before, and it was great fun. Lovely environment. People there were lovely.
Yeah.
And
so nice.
I was surprised at how easy I found it to not really think about it. Like once I was in the game, and it was, felt like it.
I think we definitely need to do like a big shout out to Daff and TJ, who pretty much looked after us throughout like the whole of like the booking and going into the studio and checking things out. And then with the recording, just like the both of them were just so helpful and so nice.
Yeah, it just wasn't like there wasn't a problem like at any point of the whole experience. We all collectively got a tour of the Yogscast,
it's
behind
great.
the scenes studios. That was really, really cool. Got to see where all that magic is made. And yeah, you're absolutely right, Tim. It was weird because like when I know I can only speak for myself, but like when we first kind of walked in and like all of us were all in costume and like all the cameras were up and all the lights were ready, and like there was a genuine like heart skipping fear in my chest. But yeah, once we just kind of cracked on with it, it all just felt super like natural. Just felt
I didn't feel. As soon as those eyebrows went on, I was in the zone. Those eyebrows went.
We have to shout out the incredible costume of Abe.
Oh yes,
honestly,
all eyebrows. It's amazing.
Like looking at you across the table was very difficult and awesome at the same time. It was so good. Like absolute kudos because I can't wear costumes like that. It's so good.
It was really fun, but I was saying to, like Dan and Nathan afterwards, I was like, I'm not sure how the footage is going to look because there's so many times where I was on my iPad that it opens because of my face and it couldn't recognize me. So I kept like looking at a blank screen and it was just be like, can't recognize. I'm like, it's me. You know,
you have to lift the eyebrows up.
Just move the moustache out of the way. It was just so funny, but yeah.
No, I think all five of you smashed it out of the park with the costumes.
Yeah, we were great.
Genuinely, like I could see the care and attention, and like a huge shout out to Nate for helping me with the epitaph costume because that was a journey.
That was a journey.
I think I've got
bits of it.
No, you haven't. It's still at my house.
Well, no, the original.
Oh, the armor we tried to make. Yes, we did try and make like foam armor.
Yeah,
and
that
was. We tried so hard, but it was polishing a turd. A lot of it.
So wait, talk about Dan.
Yeah, there was. I remember that moment. I'll bite him. Remember that moment of just like, mate, we can't. Like my armor squeaks like halloumi. Like
you were so upset as well. I felt really bad.
Squeaks like halloumi, looks like halloumi.
But yes, I guess there was a part of me like thinking about the staff of Pickaxe, like when. Like other members of the Yogscast crew were just sort of like wandering past, or like when we were all out having a quick break. And was it Tom? I think it was Tom that wandered through.
Yeah, me and Nathan went to uni with Tom.
Yeah,
so we know him.
And Theo went to
Theo went
in our animation class.
Yeah.
And just seeing us in costume, and they were like water off a duck's back. Like it was just, cool. You right, guys? Yeah.
Another day.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's part of the course of us three, to be honest.
I think Tom's seen us in costume enough times.
We went in costume a lot during uni. All those fancy dress.
There was a lot of talk about toupee tape as well while we were out in the break room. That saved a lot of costumes. That toupee tape.
Miraculous stuff.
It didn't save my eyebrows. My actual eyebrows.
Your actual eyebrows.
Half of them off. Okay.
Well, plus side, you can just whack Abe's eyebrows back on until
I've got them in a drawer.
They wave to you at night.
Like two little hairy slugs.
So, yes, the whole atmosphere of the recording was fantastic. How did we find the actual session?
I really enjoyed it.
Colossal Fight V2. Yeah.
5 hours?
We were recording for 5 hours.
Yeah, with break in between.
Yeah. Yes, Colossal Fight version 2 I feel like I very much took to heart your concerns that the Pfizer fight didn't deal out quite enough damage. So I decided to start piling that on.
Lovely.
How did the five of you collectively find the idea of skydiving onto a boss? Because I feel like that's probably a relatively new idea.
Griffin didn't skydive; he was dropped.
It was dropped.
Yep.
Launched.
Out you go, mate.
Launch
You're
from a portal.
fine. You're fine.
It's like 300 being pushed out.
The head mage of Avamore, not asking any questions and saying like, "We've just rescued you now. Bye."
You seem like a very busy man, Griffin.
By the way, your dad's dead.
I mean,
whose dad says what?
I mean, I think we can all collectively agree that Meridius looked Griffin in the eye and was like, "I'm really sorry, this is going to suck." And it was Galena that pulled the big lever that opened the trap door that you fell through.
It's the wrong lever.
Yeah, wrong lever,
I mean, honestly, any fight involving absolutely enormous miniature and then little tiny minis.
Oh, minis.
Those mini
That's
minis
all I
are
need.
Gorgeous.
I think we
That
definitely need to
would
give
be
an
really
applaud for like the amount of work
Yeah.
that Dan did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, great
Really
job, Dan.
excellent
And the
miniatures that
surprise
came
extra
out.
minis that we didn't know anything about as
Yeah.
well.
Yes, we will talk
Big
about
minis,
those.
mini minis, extra
Mini
minis,
minis. Yeah.
big mini.
Yes.
Look how little he is.
He's so
So
small.
tiny, small. Oh my goodness.
Just,
Oh, he's so small.
So smart.
just the painted on the very precipice of madness at like 4 a.m.
That's
the
normal.
night before.
Just to
Yeah.
give examples of how,
Context.
yeah,
So
tiny
teeny.
boys.
So
Yes.
teeny.
And I guess, like, I think in hindsight, like, what we ended up doing was absolutely the best course of action. Like, me, being able to print off your minis down to 50% size. So on the one hand, I should say that I was impressed that the Hero Forge minis still maintains as much detail as they did, despite being like
Yeah, they look really good for
12
that.
millimeters tall. But yeah, I remember if Carl's still in chat, he'll probably kind of relate to the fact that I had a mini crisis because I was just like, right, so I've got 30 mil minis for the player characters, and I need a scale EXO, and he's gonna be like 3 foot tall, and like 4 foot wide, tip to tip, and that's the right. And then I went to print it on my printer, and I was just like, oh, one of his wings will have to be chopped up into 4 pieces for me to print this guy. Like, I can print from his lower leg in the entirety of my printer, and it's not a small printer. I was like, I can't do it. And if I had rocked up with a 3 foot by 4 foot large mini and just plonked it on the table, I know TJ at Pickaxe Studio would have looked at me and been like, "Are you for fucking real?" Just
Like,
move
where are we
the
going to get this
camera
camera all the way
Yeah.
back?
But no,
Just us all out of shot.
I mean, given the size, you could have maybe just like paid a child and put a onesie on him.
Louis.
Yeah, I was going to say,
just
give us
Louis,
plug
Louis.
Put some wings on Louis.
Yeah, and he wouldn't move in like 4 hours.
You wouldn't.
Hey.
we just bug glue trap his feet to the table. You
Don't even need to do that. Just
he'd
put him in a warmy blanket and he'll be fine.
Yeah. Give
It's
us
a fire
sausages.
blanket.
Yes. Yes, I'm glad that you all kind of enjoyed the EXO mini, and I think it just there he is. Yeah, I think just kind of carting that honker of a mini out just kind of really set the tone. How did it feel as a colossal fight in comparison to Pfizer?
It definitely felt more intimidating, considering that we were, one, having to skydive onto him, and two, it was very obvious that we couldn't really stay in one position for a
was
long period of time.
We had to keep moving.
Yeah.
Unless we wanted to take major damage.
Yeah.
I was fine taking major damage. I was better off staying where I was than trying to jump off or onto the thing. Every time I tried to jump off, I would
not good
fail
at
horribly.
skydiving.
So I was like, fine, I'll just take the 2 hit points. I don't care. I'll just sit here.
I think it was a good way to do it, having it be damage based on staying still as well, because it meant that there's less. It feels less like you can just kind of stand there stabbing the ground until it dies. Like it forced us to stay on our feet and keep moving around. It was good.
Yeah.
And
I guess
especially.
especially. I guess especially as the what am I trying to say? With Visor, like a lot of it, like each part had like their own, sort of HP, and then once we did that, that was it. That was done. But with this one, obviously, it was like we would get away the HP, and then that gave a chance for then the tower or Visor or whatever, or the epitaph to attack then. So yeah, it made sense that we had something that sort of kept us on our feet a bit more. Sorry, Georgia, I interrupted you.
Oh no, that's right. I liked that that it kept switching. It kept like getting harder and harder for us to redo the cycle.
Yes.
Every few turns. The tower got taken away. So Pfizer got taken away. Like anything that was catching us.
Yes.
Got taken away.
Yeah. I did note the ripple of panic when I one-shot the tower after it freamed a laser through Exo.
I mean, our characters were also still in it, Dan, which is why we were probably also panicked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
We were all looking out the window like, yeah! And then suddenly we were one shot. Like,
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, I felt that there was a crazed moment during prep, because, I mean, realistically, that final encounter, like that aerial sky battle, that like ideas of that had already been formed around like episode 10, because we were already in meetings with some studios to try and figure out if we could record there and if it was possible. So yeah, it was really weird at that point in time having to fundamentally previs what I had in mind for the finale, and then to have it kind of come to life in person was really, really fun. I don't know if I shared the previs.
Yes, you have. Yeah.
I have. Is it in the Discord?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. Yeah, I won't show it now. Join the Discord if you want to find out what the previs looks like.
I think you just shared it in WhatsApp. You might need to share it in Discord. You only share
Join the Discord, and then I'll share the previs.
Don't join the WhatsApp. That's just for us.
Yes,
You little creeps.
But yes, I thought I was really glad that you all kind of agreed just how like super serious and cool the epitaph was in his little chariot.
What a dweeb.
I love him.
Like,
Leave him alone.
It's like the dweebiest guy. I was like, cool, we're going to get a robot guardian. And he's just like, what's that? I'm just like, oh, God.
He had a little chariot and everything, Libby. How could you?
I was expecting more Iron Man, less Chariot Man, but yeah, it's all good. It worked for what
I love how all of our minis just about fit on it, but only if like at an angle.
There was a moment during painting. Yeah, when I tried to sort of like mount everyone in, I sat there thinking, "Oh no, they don't fit. Oh hell." Oh well, had to commit to the bit. Yeah, you were all super wowed by how cool the epitaph was, and I personally felt like super pumped when the Pfizer reveal happened, and like I know I focused on it during the edit, and you all were just like, especially Libby. Like, Libby, you lost your shit.
It's my mummy.
But yeah, there seemed to be genuine joy that Pfizer turned up. So yeah, that meant quite a lot. That felt really good. What highlights? Everyone's personal highlights for that first segment?
The first half.
The fact that it seemed like Cass could have just blitzed through it without all of us being there.
Yeah.
Cass just speed running our demigod.
Yeah, that like first tag team when it's like Abe's just like, right, I'm gonna do like 90 damage, and then we're like, oh, we're tag team on chain lightning. It's like, oh no, we did a lot of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like,
when you make a guy made of several bits and all of them count as a different guy.
And I was just sat there going, I can't say no, can I? Not really.
I was like, I've awakened the spirit of the angry god within him for 2 ticks. Cast the chain lightning again for 96 ticks. And we loved her for it, because otherwise we would die.
Yeah.
Yes, I noted that there was a very tactical, we need to take stress off of Cass so she can do chain lightning again.
Yeah.
We
she
need
got
Cass
very
to win
looking.
Share the burden is, I think, both Phantom Retreat, which allowed me to skydive again, which is fun, without Epitaph being there. So I was able to just be like, I return to skydive once more. And Share the Burden, which allows me to steal stress for an amount of hope, which is a risky strategy, but also Cooper's an idiot. So it makes sense for him to be like, I'll take your stress. You can do more zappy,
including
I'll have some hope. So yeah, I loved doing that personally. I did also love Griffin just arriving like, hello, I've fallen out of a tower over here.
How are you guys?
Let's go. I think my dad got murdered. Hi. And Meridius is
had a
just
busy
like,
day.
are you dealing with this? Are you? And it's like, yeah. It's like, okay,
Cool. Bye, guys.
Sure.
Meridius is a man of action. What about you, Tim? Was there any kind of standout bit in that beginning, in that first half?
Oh, I mean, being a bird's always fun. Love being a bird and doing bird stuff.
Oh, when
Brilliant.
you pulled that premonition shit on me.
It was so good. So
It was
that
very
could
Final
happen,
Destination,
Dan, but it didn't.
Oh, I love it, because every time I do it, I could see that you were slightly annoyed.
Yeah. You see Dan just clenching, just like, yes, of course. That's
Because
fine.
it's one of those things you can never prepare for in inverted commas. So, and it is literally a rug pull. And just like, what's happening? What?
I've not played any. I can't think of any of the systems I've played where I get the occasional options just to like look at the GM and be like, "No, don't be silly. None of that. Come on."
That's not how it happened.
That never happened.
No, I genuinely love Premonition for that. Like, it's such a powerful narrative tool. Every time just completely blindsided me. So yeah, no, kudos for that. Kudos for that. Any other stand-up bits, or shall we move on to second half?
Let's move on to the second
Let's
half.
go into the future.
Yeah.
Into the future. So second half, you post Pfizer's open heart surgery.
So we crawled into her
crawled into Exo's chest and ended up in the Hidden Arbor. So yeah, that was I think I mentioned this to you collectively, that the concept of the Hidden Arbor was a relatively late arrival. And then the prospect of you being in the Hidden Arbor for that second part was like that was a decision that was made like days before, like a week at most before we were actually due to record. because the original idea was that you would be in his chest cavity, in Exo's chest cavity, and like the time limit would be Pfizer creating a platform of ice for you to stand on to fight in this sort of like flaming void, like in his torso, and you had to sort of like defeat Exo before the platform melted. And you had to heal Pfizer to give her more energy to keep the platform in place. And then there was a point when I just kind of sat and it was a week before, and I was like, oh, that sucks. And yeah, all the talk of Core Hizal that had been rolling out just felt like that was a welcome change of environment, I think, from everything being on fire to, especially with the Stonethrath fight being very, very fiery. Being in this sort of like lush, it was a return to the core identity of Titanars, which was abundant growth and nature. So yeah, putting you inside a world spirit, I felt was much more appropriate. How did the five of you feel getting a rematch against what was effectively episode 7 Exo?
I mean, he was pretty tough on both occasions, I feel.
Yeah.
I think we got, like, not to put it bluntly, we got pretty burned in episode 7. I felt like we felt like we'd done well, and then he screwed us.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, we're getting through this. This Act 1 finale is going okay, even if he is the BBEG. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh no, we are kind of screwed. Everyone died. So facing him again, even as a higher level, still felt pretty risky. And
because I vividly remember Theo, like when he started to fire off his like triggers, like his soul, his like devouring hunger, when you get close you might give me a load of fear, and it was the way that you looked across at Georgia and was like, oh, I forgot he had all of this stuff.
The accessories.
But even that, like from a GM point of view, the fact that it was just like, oh, I remember this fear, this honkery that he did to us last time. That felt good. How? Anyone else? How did you find that second showdown?
I like it when Abe and Griffin did 174 points of damage.
174. I need to turn that into a short, actually. Yeah. I haven't done any. I feel like I haven't done anywhere near as much like quick fire mental arithmetic.
Just like, wait.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, you're all throwing like 8 dice at a time.
But that was a real like gamble for me, because at that point I was relying a lot on my rage up thing, which just cost me stress. And at that point I'd maxed out all of my stress, so every time I rolled dice I was taking a hit point. But I was like, well, it's either not getting an additional 40 damage or so I might as well just kill myself. But get all the gains. Yeah.
Because it felt like, I don't know, so for someone who wasn't like actively part of that finale and was just watching it, I don't know how much it came across, but like you guys were near empty by the time fight finished.
We're really on empty at that point. We had no hope left. We had like no stress left.
Stress.
I think I had like 2 hit points left. It was like really like this.
Yeah, the fact that Exo was like able to drain our hope at the same time did make it really difficult. I was on like, at one point I just had 1 HP left, no armor, no stress. Like it could have just taken another fear and then Exo to go, and Griffin would have just been.
I mean, I can't remember how much of it ended up on stream, but it became a bit of a running joke through the campaign that like I built a healer, and we just end up with like Abe's armor slightly scratched at the end of a lot of fights because he's so tough. And it was like really nice and a bit scary as well to get through like every single heal I had in that last fight.
Yeah.
And just be completely dry and like with everyone barely hanging on by a thread. It was like
when you did your like group announcement of like, guys, I have one minor AoE heal left, and I could feel myself going, really?
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't want to like give anything away, but at the same point I was like looking at it and I was just like, I can't take any more hits for anyone because I've now used all of my armor slots, so I can't start taking damage for anyone, and I've been taking damage for everyone quite a lot. And I don't know where anyone else is at, and I just don't want them to all crumble. Guardian problems, you know. I got to the point where I couldn't save. Yeah.
With Cooper, so my character sheet still reflects the end of the battle because I hadn't updated it. So I had 4 out of 8 hit points left, which is pretty good, but I also have max stress and only 1 armor slot left. So it would probably taken maybe 2 good hits on me to probably take me out. It would depend completely on the rolls, which is the case with all of these games. It would take just Dan to crit one of us probably, and I would have been screwed for sure.
Well, I mean, in hindsight, there was that explosive rift that did go off and hit all of you. And like at the time, I didn't appreciate just like how badly timed that was for you all collectively. Because like that, if that had been a bit spicier on the roll, like I could have seen a number of you drop. And like something that I've kind of come to terms with since is that in Daggerheart, if you drop, like if you hit 0 hit points, it's not like say D&D where you can start playing 1 hit point yo-yos. Like either you agree that you're out of action and you take no further part, or you guarantee your death, or you 50-50 it, and like there's no like soft reset like there is in say D&D.
But also the guarantee death also means you crit. You get a super crit. So it has absolutely a blaze of glory. So it would completely depend on how it's going, because you know some people like drop as like, oh, this is a couple of imps or something. Yeah, we'll just drop her unconscious for the rest of the session. No bother. But when it's the final battle with the final boss, you would probably take that risk more likely than not, I guess.
What, the double or nothing, like the 50-50?
I feel like it would depend on. I think I might have taken that. I think I would have taken Blaze of No. I don't know. I think the 50-50 would have actually given me like an asthma attack at the table. I think I'd rather just go, I'm definitely going to die. I'm just going to choose that. Just like the 50-50. Like, but there might be hope I live.
I would have had to go for the 50-50. I just, gives me the edge. It's fun. Oh, the thrills.
They're saying that I also did another 50-50 at the table, didn't I, Dan, to your chagrin?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that.
It tickles me so much.
Right. For the record, I had no idea that Dan had an extra Cooper Mini in his back pocket. No idea. So when he was like, hey, do you want to allow Kerthotha, this, dragon that died during the war, bit of a burden who's been stuck in your brain, want to take over your body a bit. It's not exactly like, of course, yes, I'm absolutely going to get superpowers in a new mini. I thought I'd be like unable to move for loads of turns and Dan get to control me. I had no idea what that entailed. I did not know. So I was like, I'll just roll for it. Not realizing Dan was going to murder me.
When you were like, oh, I've got this coin, it's a D2. And I know that I was looking down at my notes and there was a across the table at you.
Did not catch
what? But no, it worked out in the end. It's fine.
Yeah. It came out. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would have just eaten the mini if you
In front of you.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Danny, you're right.
It's like that clip of Matt Mercer just ripping up that character sheet.
But you know, I'm like I think you're absolutely right. Sort of like Cooper pseudo kind of leaving up to chance, like with the coin flip, but then the way that you ran it, I felt that was a very good way of dealing with it. I'm just very glad that all of that hard work and effort I put into painting the mini was worth it.
And all those zigzags.
Yeah,
those little chevrons.
Going to make sure there's as many patterns as possible going forward.
There is a zigzag ban in campaign 4.
Oh, that's going to make my character just zigzags.
Don't you worry, Dan. I'll make sure there's more patterns, more different.
Well, weren't you thinking of like a Scottish character with a load of tartans?
Just tartans.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think we were all going to go with that, actually.
An all tartan parties.
Yeah,
That sounds great. Yeah.
They're all different clans, so all the tartans are subtly different.
Yes, you managed to you managed the best exo, power of friendship, quintuple fisting, and you managed to wrench Brunan from him, and then the bitter irony, exo got devoured by the very god that he himself had devoured. So I think with like, shall we talk about like where the character arcs in general, sort of like the journeys you took, like what stuff happened in the epilogue, like did that wrap up your characters you kind of hoped it would? Are there any like plot threads that you feel that have been left hanging that you'd love to kind of pick up and run with in the future? Let's start with Abe. Livy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How was Abe's journey?
Much as imagined. I think everything was covered that I kind of wanted him to. You know, I think as much as we all love Abe, he's not a great person. I think he's made a lot of mistakes. But I think we all know father figures that are similar, which is just kind of like, oh, well, I don't want to be the first person to make the move. I don't want to be the first person to say, I'm sorry. I'll just sit in a hole and not talk to anyone. And it's everyone else's fault but my own. So I'll just go and cut off her head. And
classic story.
Classic storyline. Classic toxic masculinity. But yeah, I think I covered I think it went how I wanted it to go for sure. I'm glad we managed to kind of go full circle and he could be back with his daughter, and everything kind of. I think there's still. I imagine this is 1 year later. You know, there's still bridges to be built. You know, and obviously he's got a grandchild, and in my head there was always a grandchild, but Brynja had never wanted to introduce them. Because it's kind of like, well, I don't know if he's just going to sort off again, you know. And I think that's kind of something that some of us can potentially, you know, relate to with family members, where you just go, well, do I really want to, you know, introduce my children to someone that might not be around, or my grandchildren to somebody that might not be around, or if they're not a good influence or whatever it is. So I think he's still got some redemption to redeem, but hopefully he's dealing with it in a healthy way. Healthier way, yes. But yeah, obviously I absolutely loved playing Abe. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
You know.
Nice. Let's bounce up to Nate. How was the Griffin voyage?
It was good. Yeah, like obviously he was very much a character that I've never really played before, and I almost feel like I probably could have been a bit more chatty with him, but no, it was really fun, and a big thank you, Dan, for indulging me in my backstory that I had for him. Because obviously that started more coming out sort of very later game, and it's really fun to know that sort of like that sort of influenced the story, and that is actually going to carry on. There's still remnants of it that will carry on into the future of Elsewhere, which is great. Yeah, it was like mechanically playing a bard was really interesting. I've never played a bard in like D&D, and obviously still, and I very rarely play like magic users. I think previously, sort of like the year before, with playing with like Azakar, even though he did have magic in a way, it was mostly just sort of like I can do more damage if I hit you.
Yeah.
And it was the same with my D&D character that we play in private on a Wednesday. He was a barbarian, so it was again very sort of hitty. So it was interesting to play someone who was much more of a magic user, and sort of and just getting to sort of play with that. And there were parts of me that was a little bit worried about like how much am I going to be relying on Fireball, but it turned out fine.
Yeah, I mean, you did Wall of Flame, and
I did do Wall of
Flame.
I did Wall of Flame a couple of times, and it turned out great.
It was every single time.
Every single time.
But I feel like it played into Griffin's character well, that he has these abilities, that he has this quite powerful arcane magic, but he's just useless at it.
Or when he's good, he just doesn't even realise.
He doesn't realise it. And he's just, so no, he was a joy.
But yeah, it's like what you were saying about sort of like how Stonethrath became. Yeah, that was a really interesting idea to like going for me. I guess the Griffin journey, kind of going from how on earth am I going to get these NPCs into the get them to this remote paradise island that no one knows the location of, that I've deliberately cut off from the rest of the world. How on earth? They've got an airship. Cool. Well, I guess we've got airships now. Oh, it's like a gothic cathedral airship. Even better. I've got to present that visually at some point. Great.
To be fair, Dan, that was your own making. You sent me a message and you were just like, what do you think how Stonethrath looks like? And I was like, well, I think it's like Gothic architecture, and then probably during the eschaton, like there's some sort of industrial stuff that like Lord Sorrowing can like manipulate it. And he's just like, brilliant, Gothic cathedral airship. We're going with it. And I was like, all right, you do you. You've only got yourself to blame, Dan.
I found all of that more believable than Griffin had a fiance.
Yeah.
I was just like, airship, cool. Floating airship, cool. Dad's on fire, cool. What? Your fiance? What would that come from? And a female fiance. It's just like,
look, I knew
you're bending reality too far now. It's too much.
Like, come on, Nathan. This is fantasy, but come on.
Between the vault of secret robots and the flying cathedral, I was like, Dan is trying to turn this into 40k. He's just slowly tricking us into the Warhammer universe bit by bit.
Yes, maybe.
I was happy with his ending. I was happy that he got to be obviously with the woman he loves.
Yes.
But I'm sure he still has.
No, it was Livy's face was like, no.
He's obviously very openly pansexual.
It's obvious.
Griffin.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he goes and sees Cooper from time to time and chats with him.
Oh,
Amazing.
Also
gone.
he'll go to Rice Not to see Guard, and he'll turn up and he'll be like, "Hi, Abe," and Abe will just go, "Fuck off."
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who's this guy? Who invited this guy?
How did Cass feel as a journey? Did she end where you expected her to?
Cass was interesting to play because with D&D characters or TTRPG characters in general, I tend to play quite slightly exaggerated characters. They tend to have a very particular voice. They tend to be a certain way that isn't me. Whereas Cass ended up being far more naturalistic to my own voice and how I act. Not to my personality, I hope. I don't think I'd headshot that many people. But she was very interesting and
the lines were blurred.
But I think I tried to do a voice for her when we first started and I realized that wasn't working and she just ended up sounding most like me. And so she was very difficult in that regard. I found her quite hard to play, especially like I came from playing Alfric, who is the littlest boy ever.
The softest boy.
Sweetest boy. The sweetest lad.
And then Cass arrived on scene. But she was good fun. I enjoyed her a lot. And I think she did soften towards the end. Obviously, she was always hell-bent on her one mission of kicking a god in the shins. But I think she found time to make friends, which was nice for her.
Yes. That's
and I absolutely did not miss for most of the ending epilogue that my family had come back. Absolutely didn't go over my head at all until you mentioned it.
And you were like, what?
Oh, they did come back. Okay, cool.
But that was Cass's reaction, like, oh, okay, they're back. Okay, cool.
All right, cool, fine.
Yeah, there were moments where I do remember kind of going, wait, I don't know if I stuck that one. I don't know if I stuck that landing. I think we have to go for another.
You were giving me like a nice
pass.
little glimpse into the past of the family, and I was like, cool, that's really lovely. My family.
But then it was pretty trippy. Like maybe that was just in Corazal's tummy, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
A little tummy
That's
moment.
where they live now.
It's in a little library in a tummy.
Yeah.
I'll admit
this little mind prison.
Yeah, I'll admit the Corazal, like the whole plot line of like who's eaten who, got a bit J.J. Abrams lost / like Japanese RPG like Kingdom of Hearts territory. Where it's just like you just need massive sheets of paper with arrows all over
there, and then they're in, but then they're not in, and then Exo is inside himself, and then
you're inside Exo, but he's also here. What's this?
Yeah, fundamentally, Corazal ended up being like a flat tapeworm within Exo that somehow managed to eat Exo and therefore itself. And it's just one big analogy for Ouroboros and the continuing cycle of despair and hatred.
We're also there.
And you're there, yes.
We're there as well. We're spectators to it all.
You're there trying to pull out the Kentucky Fried Chicken that he'd eaten for dinner earlier.
Yeah. Out your belly.
Well, so now we know that the Castellos family are in fact alive.
Wait, they are?
Well, maybe. Do you reckon you might see yourself playing Cass again in the future, or are you excited to see her as like an NPC?
Yeah, I mean,
it's like Galena.
She's part of the girls' gang now.
This is true. Yes,
she's part of the girls' gang.
Girls in STEM.
You did that. You caused that.
Girls in STEM. We're loving it.
I think I was considering the other day playing maybe one of her family members. If they've been scattered to the winds across elsewhere, it might be interesting to bring someone else, another one of the Crystallis family back as an NPC or a player. So
amazing. That'd be fun. How did Tim find Gardy's journey?
Yeah, good actually. I think because with Galena in the previous campaign, I was definitely going into that with like a good old fashioned tragic, dark, complicated backstory, and with Gardy it was like a bit of a departure both in his personality, but also in just like he's just his life's just been okay basically. Like he's got a difficult task ahead of him, but it was interesting kind of going into that with a fresher, sort of more blank slate guy and seeing what that ended up with. It took me a minute to like get a handle on what his arc was going to be, really, because obviously I didn't particularly have one planned. And it felt like it ended up being about sort of finding his place, really.
Yes.
He's going into it desperately looking for help from these outside forces, and throughout the campaign, like realizing that he needs to be the one to help them and the others around him, and like coming to terms with how to do that, and understanding that he can do that as well. So yeah, I mean, I was quite happy with where it went with them in the end. Yeah, I don't know if I'd necessarily bring him back in another campaign or not. I think he'd need to fit in and have a good reason. Hopefully, at some point, he'll sort out all of his family dying of a drought, but he's got time. He'll get there.
Yeah, maybe
Back to that. It's fine.
He's chilling with
Look,
Abe.
some of us don't remember if our family are alive or dead. It's going around.
I don't even know.
Sometimes it just happens.
Look, not all of us got a chance to like stab our dad to death about 10 minutes before the end of the campaign. We get updates.
I feel it's the friends or the family we lost along the way. Is that? Yes, I thought Gardy dropping the relatively stone cold, like I don't think I've ever heard like a paragraph from a nature documentary turned into such a threat.
I love that so much.
Yeah, when you were talking about the horseworm, the like the thing that burrowed up into hooves. I feel like at the time when you were doing that speech, I think I was just catching flies. I was just looking at you like, what's happening? This is great.
Yeah.
Guys, giving him a right talking to.
I really liked it was when you took us into the insidey thing, and suddenly it was Exo who was tiny small inside this much bigger thing, and I was like, oh, he's not eating them all along. He's just this horrible little man that's burrowed into these gods.
Yes. Yes. It was.
Now we're going to bow into him.
Yes.
Yes. A very parasitic kind of relationship that he had. Yes. Gardy, and I'm glad that Gardy finally got to do some healing. Towards the end of the campaign.
We were all very happy that Gardy got to do some healing.
Thank you, Gardy.
Absolutely. Last but not least, then, how was Coop's holiday?
Coop's holiday was a riot. It was so good. No, I think Coop came quite a long way because I planned to play him a lot more standoffish, and like trying to like create a character in a space where they need to go along for the journey. I imagine Livy might have felt the same with Abe, like kind of having to be pulled along into an adventure but still feel authentic. Like I think it was easier for Abe because suddenly his home was at risk and his daughter was at risk, but with Cooper, whilst yes, Cass was at risk, he's previously effed off before. It was only really like he had to make a decision to stay. And I think it was quite tricky. I think Griffin helped a lot with that, character-wise. But yeah, he was at times quite hard to play. Like he was fun to play, but he was also quite hard to play. I think there were a lot of moments where he, like, I feel like the kick Fran job that kept on like getting put off and changed. Like, I think in hindsight, I think I would have liked to have explored what that was more with you behind the scenes, because I felt like Cooper made some very stupid decisions because I didn't have the full details, or in my head, I didn't feel like I had the full details. Where I think if Cooper had been given the full details, he would have been a bit more savvy. And I think he came across as more stupid than I intended him to be at times in regard to that particular job. Yes, he's a reckless rat boy. I accept this.
I think he played it fine. Had his
but I just meant in terms of the job, I feel like he was a lot more experienced criminal than I think I played him as, because I felt like I didn't have as much info as I would have liked to going in. But that was also like as the game started off.
I feel like our collective headcanon of him as a little rat man did help.
Yeah,
did increase as
it slowly crept into him. Yeah.
And
I'm fine with that. I think that again worked to my advantage because it made him easier to play. But I feel like originally he was supposed to be a bit more suave Han Solo, and instead he became.
Well, Griffin thinks he's a suave Han Solo.
Yeah, but that's Griffin.
The Chewbacca to Cooper.
Yeah.
I
think he's Han Solo. He's not.
I think the sort of the flustered approach you took with Cooper really worked. Actually, it really gave him a kind of he genuinely is just trying to get away from his problems, and it is not working at any point.
It's just like, oh, now I'm haunted. Oh, now I've got wings. My horns
like, what the fuck?
Just trying to get on with my life.
I think Cooper's like very slippery descent into like borderline madness, but he starts at I'm just trying to enjoy some holiday time, guys, and then by the end of it you're diving into the torsos of demigods, and like that's not the weirdest thing that's happened
to Cooper in this last few days. And again, I think the whole story took place in less than a week. Yes. I'm talking like 4 days at most. Yeah, like crazy scenes, right? With these lot. And like again, like in context of that, he's not seen Cass for 13 years. So like we didn't like. I think it'd be nice to explore more of that, but at the same time, I'm glad. Like I know we discussed it after the game, but I'm really glad that Cass and Cooper didn't just have a magical get together at the end.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about that because it's been too much has gone on. It's in too much of a little time for it to me to be like, oh, they're in love again.
Yeah, because that's not how love works, or like any of that works. And whilst I think there is still feelings still there for obvious reasons, and also we didn't reveal this in the campaign because we just kept on finding very difficult. Like we just didn't have a way to like bring it up. But they were still married; they weren't actually divorced. Because who has time to get divorced during war?
Nobody serves those fancy divorce cases.
So the gun called alimony was just a really fun little gag that Georgia came up with. I was like, they're not even bloody divorced, and you're like, well, that's what the gun's called. So yeah, which I thought was fun. But yeah, I don't know if I might play Cooper again. But he was a tough act to play. I think it would have to be the right. It had to be the right story for him to be returning in. But I like how his story's played out. I like that he's been able to get his confidence in his own choices back because of the Kervotha stuff. And I feel like him choosing to support Dorlashal, where he began the story, chilling out in Dorlashal and being like, I'm only staying here for a quick break before I move on to the next job, was quite nice. Especially considering his love-hate relationship with Hastings. When we met them, it feels like him kind of stepping into his shoes in a more like community capacity was quite a fun way to finish that off as a kind of mirroring.
I I do have a pitch for a way that you play Cooper again, and probably all of us would be playing characters again. If we ever get round to it, one shot using Jason Statham's Big Vacation. But it's Cooper, he's on holiday, and the rest of us are desperately trying to stop it getting fucked up again.
Love it. Love that.
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, slam dunk. Well, I think just before we kind of put this whole kind of topic to rest, like, are there any, like, with 2020 hindsight, are there any changes anyone else would have made to, like, the trajectories of their characters over the space of campaign 3, or like are we just kind of pretty happy how things panned out?
I think I would have made Cass a bit more antagonistic at the start. I think I was and tend
Shot
to be
everyone in the head.
Yeah, straight in there. I think I still remain to be quite nervous about causing too much conflict in roleplay. My brain is like, oh, I'm having an actual argument with this person. It's like, no, Georgia, you're not. You're interacting with a character.
It's weird to have, like, RP arguments with people, isn't it? Like,
Yeah. I was fully
I need to have a go at
preparing
Griffin for Alfred.
Yeah, I was fully preparing for Georgia to have a revenge.
Yeah.
Cass having a right old go at Griffin.
So I think with a bit more bravery on my part, I would have made her more antagonistic and then brought her down as things went on, and she realized that she needed these people and that her ultimate goal was not helping her. I think that probably would have been.
I mean, I think maybe I'm glad that like Cass was tempered at the level she was, because I almost get the feeling that Elismira would not have survived the first couple of episodes if you'd been a lot more gung ho.
Valid. Well, Cass wouldn't have survived the first few episodes. Tipped over the top of a boat.
Pirate Queen versus researcher.
Versus
arcane researcher. Dolashal explodes for lots of different reasons. It might have been for that.
Anyone else have any sort of, like, shoulda, woulda, couldas?
Made Abe even more Bristolian? No, probably.
Made Abe even more a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, I mean, I wish there was more opportunities. I mean, there was points where I was like, should I say that? And I was like, no, because I don't want to be too controversial. But he's everyone's favourite boomer.
He is everyone's favourite boomer.
His daughter can sit him down at some point and be like, okay, Dad, listen.
This is how pronouns work. This is what the earth looks like.
If someone says their pronouns are we, then that's what their pronouns are.
No, it will never get. He's too boomer. But
I know that if I were going through a second time, I think I would. I'd certainly do a lot. I certainly do a lot less ground pounding, like to free up more time for the characters, because it felt like Lord of the Rings has a surprising amount of walking because they have to be in certain places for certain things to happen, and yeah, I feel like I was kind of guilty of having that happen a bit at points. Yeah, I think, say if I was able to run it through again, maybe I wouldn't have made Titan Isles as, like, isolated. Would have just made kind of bringing in character backstories a bit better. But I think, like, what we ended up with, like, I think was pretty good. Pretty all right. So that was campaign 3.
Cool.
Wow.
Done dusted. Bish
Done.
Bosh.
Finn, we can forget about it. What were there any other, like, bits or bobs that between the five of you wanted to kind of go through or discuss or muse upon?
I had a really nice time playing with you guys.
Yeah, it was lovely.
First time doing a long campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice to finally. It is strange to do. Obviously, this is I did Tales, but also most people in Tales I've at some point played around a table with them. Whereas this is the first time, obviously, I never met Tim until we did the finale.
Yeah, which is mad.
Yeah, same.
It was something I meant to mention earlier. Yeah, like
that's
it was
crazy.
just,
We played a whole campaign and never actually been in the same room.
Yeah, like the fact that we were in studio was cool for the finale, but like absolutely the nicest part was just getting to meet all of you guys properly and like playing face to face and yeah.
And
really
you got
good
to
time.
find out firsthand that Livy's actually only about 3.5 foot tall.
I always
I am
expected that,
actually
to
a
be
sprite.
honest. Yeah.
And you got
to
I'm
meet
putting
Louis
on as well.
I'm actually just putting on this voice. My normal voice is actually Ravy's voice.
Got to bring it right down.
So yeah, I just have to really bring it down quite a lot because I'm.
Yes, no, I think like having like the spectacle, the feeling of everyone coming together for the finale. Yeah, that felt genuinely great. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Because I remember in the campaign 2 like finale, like I genuinely just didn't really appreciate how tall JC was.
Yeah.
when I first met them, I was like, "Oh, hello."
Yeah, JC is exceedingly tall.
Yes. Yes. So that's all fun games. I've run out of bullet points on my list. Have you guys got anything left on your respective bullet lists?
Thanks,
as someone who
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Dan.
No, once again, thank you, the 5 of you, for kind of joining me on the adventure. It was a hoot and a holler. Really enjoyed this one. And yeah, looking forward to what's happening in the future. Secrets and spoilers. But yes. Sorry, I cut you off, Nate.
I was just saying, as someone who did play in campaign 2, I did like the callback to previous NPCs, like obviously just like Nephene and Kigfran, in brackets the Raven.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wherever he may be.
Wherever he may be.
You're so mad. Yeah, I mean, arguably on paper, you guys haven't actually had a long rest yet. So wherever Kigfran is, he can't come back.
Griffin will never rest again.
Griffin's not allowed to sleep. No sleep for Griffin.
I love that the Daggerheart Banish doesn't say where they go.
No, they just go.
It's like,
Just go.
Don't worry about it.
But no, you kind of hit on an important point there. Like certainly in campaign 3, more so than in campaign 2, because campaign 2 was decidedly like isolationist. Literally, like it is cut off from literally the world. But yeah, in campaign 3, when I name dropped this crazy kooky alchemist in Avonmore who says some balmy things about reversing crystallization, that in the moment was a tongue-in-cheek like reference to Tim's previous character. So then when at like the halfway point of the campaign, you guys rolled high enough to effectively make an outgoing call to whoever the hell you want, and then you were like, let's call that crazy kooky alchemist lady. And then I was like, oh shit, like Galena's actually gonna be a character in this campaign. Like a previous campaign NPC is gonna be an active NPC in this one. Holy shit. And then from that, snowballing into what was fundamentally a pretty I don't think the word's like well deserved, but it just fit to bring in Galena and the Tales crew. Like oh, we need some explorer help to go to the Titan Isles. Who are we going to call? Well, we've literally called one of them, and the other 4 of you happen to have other player characters that are a bit of a unit together. So yeah, if Galena
missing a certain Wolfkin,
missing Vangier,
he's too busy off having another baby. So congratulations, Dampy.
Yeah, congratulations,
girl.
He's creating new recurring NPCs.
When we get to campaign 20,
she should be old enough.
Some new blood.
It's certainly as we kind of open up future campaigns, whether they're sort of like the mainline campaigns or like the side campaigns, I think it's just going to be fun to see like where like non-crowbarred PC/NPC cameos will pop up. So yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to that going forward.
Professor Abe's always going to be obviously a point of call for everyone. He's got a lot of very intelligent things to say.
Yes,
very intelligent.
Precisely. Yes. Anyone else for anyone else?
No, it's just happy and sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's still happy and sad. It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
To say goodbye to some dear friends.
Yeah, but definitely.
Dear Bellens.
I think there was that. It was the first, wasn't it? The first Monday after, where we were all getting ready to watch the first half of the in-person finale, and there was that sort of like vibe of ennui as we were like, "Oh, we're not playing.
We're just gonna watch ourselves play when we were still playing." Remember when we played?
A week ago.
No, I think we should all 100% like pat ourselves on the back because we did campaign 3 well. So yeah, thank you, you 5. I should also say thank you to the community because like as we've been talking about all of the twists and turns and like little incidental things that kind of blew up, like all of the bits that the viewers have contributed to this campaign. So like a truckload of NPCs for Dorlashal. I apologise that I blew some of them up.
You killed.
Some of them.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Yeah, some of them unfortunately just wore the needs to die to bring the group together hat a bit too well. But no, that's
Eileen. Hopeless Eileen.
Hopeless Eileen. If you ever see this Bum Riri, thank you, but also sorry.
She was a martyr for the cause. She's got a statue and everything now.
She was. I think Eileen, or I think that the power of Eileen was that the lack of Eileen was one of the closest moments to some of us like emotionally cracking, just having a little shed tear. But yeah, just that whole kind of surge for the community was really great. I guess it just kind of highlights how impactful like Daggerheart has been in like the 6 months since it's it's just over 6 months since its release. And yeah, there's like new Daggerheart stuff coming up. Nate, you said you were having a little rummage and like more Daggerheart actual plays are popping up.
Yeah, I've literally, just before we started this, I found like a Portuguese tabletop TTRPG group, and it looks like they're doing sort of like a long form like Daggerheart playthrough, which is great. I found like a couple of other groups that are sort of doing more long form, and I think we've had this chat before, and we've chatted with Witchlight as well, who's been chatting in the Discord as well about how we feel that it's wonderful that there's so many one shots that are going out and people are actually giving it a go and seeing what it's like, but just massively recommend that people give it a shot as a long form game.
really
because
cool.
you're going to enjoy it so much more when you actually get to progress those characters and get all those levels and see how your character fits in with it. I think it's really important that people sort of know that, and then they actually get like a good, they really get their teeth into it.
And being able to like turn an experience you've had in the campaign into an experience on paper, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's the sweet spot. Is when you get to do your next experience, you're like, oh, I've actually got history, and I can make a new thing that influences my character. Yeah.
Seeing the development, I think, is massively crucial in Daggerheart. So I've just pulled up my list because one of the things that I've been doing is keeping a actual play directory running on the Daggerheart subreddit. So I'm just gonna kind of run through the list of actual plays that I've been kind of keeping tabs on, both video and audio. So Explorers of Elsewhere, whoever the hell they are, Epos Ex Prosa, Vow and Dagger, The Pocket Dimension, Group Action Roll, Yes and Dragons, Roll Solo, Theatre of the Mind Flayer, Wither and Bloom Studios, More Than Dice, Emerald Collective Podcast, Garblag Games, Dodo Born. I think everyone here has listened to Dodo Born a little bit. Hagdill Gaming, Natural Rolls, Ravens Keep, Blaybound Zaga, Looking for Mum, First Stage Entertainment, Landlocked Warlocks and Faint Divinities, Roll of the Dice, Crit and Fumble, Thieves Guild Games, Crash Course DM. That's not all of them, because I know that Nate, you found more since.
Yeah, so look up also. There's one called Dicescape. They're also playing it. I was just trying to look up the channel that I literally just found. The Guild D&D Club. They're also playing Daggerheart as well.
I think what I'll do, I don't know how well YouTube's gonna love me spamming links into a comment, but I'll see if I can get links to all of these channels one way or another.
Pop it in the description.
Or pop it in the description. Yes. Yeah, I'll pop it somewhere in the vicinity of this video.
And there might be more Daggerheart coming up
with us.
Soon. Maybe there'll be more Daggerhearts.
More Daggerheart. You never know.
We will have to see. We're not doing any announcements tonight, are we?
No.
Okay, cool. We will have to see.
We gave a slight tip to that tip of the hat to it at the end of campaign 3.
Yes.
But
very true.
Yeah, you're going to make a video to talk about what's happening throughout the rest of the year and into 2026.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I won't touch on too many of the points now, but yeah, as of time of recording, we are a mere 58 subscribers away from the big 1,000. So I mean, 1,000 subs by 2026. That'd be a thing.
That'd be great.
Yes, I'm absolutely going to be releasing a video very soon, detailing what we're going to be doing on the channel here now that campaign 3 has come to an end. Because I think, well, you 5 definitely know that my ADHD has not stopped since the end of campaign 3. But yeah, there is a surprising amount in the pipeline that is due to come out, and yeah. I mean, some of it might be Daggerheart, but I can neither confirm nor deny. So, I reckon that brings us to a close. Okay. Well, once again, thank you 5 for playing. You've been absolute gems throughout all of campaign 3 and before. Thank you for supporting me in this kind of harebrained scheme of mine. You kind of really brought the campaign to life, and I appreciate all of you immensely. Thank you to all of you who have watched or listened to the campaign in some capacity. If you are watching, if this is the first Elsewhere video that you've watched, hi.
Where you been?
Where
you been?
Yeah.
Yes, I thank you and appreciate all of you for kind of helping champion the channel. Like, this has been an amazing journey, and I certainly know that I'm not planning on pulling my foot off the gas anytime soon. Okay, other final shout outs. Thank you once again to the guys over at Pickaxe for helping to facilitate an amazing finale. A massive thank you to Meredith and the rest of the folks over at Demiplane. Their support for us during this campaign was incredible. From the various shout outs and the prizes that they gave us to be able to give away towards the start of the campaign. And yeah, anyone that's sort of helped or supported, yeah, thank you.
Thank you to Connor.
Thank you to Connor, of course.
Yeah.
Connor, yes, the star that is Connor, for making us sound beautiful in the finales. Yes, thank you so much, bud. All right, I think that's it.
That's it.
Yay!
Done.
Amazing.
Goodbye forever.
Never gonna see you guys again.
That's it. Channel
Back to the bin I go.
Yes, thank you so much. If you have enjoyed any part of Campaign 3, make sure to hit the like button on this video, the like button on all the other videos on the channel as well. That'd be great. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. Follow on Twitch if you haven't already. Join our Discord. The Discord is free to join, and you'll see extra pickies and artwork and gags and bad dad jokes that you don't see live on screen. So I don't want you to miss out on that. If you want to support us going forward into 2026, please consider becoming a member on YouTube, a patron on Patreon. The tiers are very cheap, but the real world money that you would be kind of giving us out the goodness of your hearts is immensely useful, especially with some of the bigger plans that we've got in the future. And there's also going to be, in time, there will be more kind of exclusive member only stuff or members early access stuff being released in the future. Cool. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for talking. We'll see you for the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
She's saying bye. I've lost the end screen.
Oh,
Where's my
God.
mouse?
Bye.
Bye.